Ancient pressure sensors, embedded deep within the scarred earth, awaken to a faint presence. A lone survivor, cloaked in tattered rags, approaches the threshold of the forgotten pathway. Subtle energy currents hum beneath the scorched pavement, sensing the fragile life above. The air thickens with a premonition of movement, a silent, unseen anticipation building. Crimson light patterns, like spilled blood, ripple outward across the desolate street ahead. These spectral warnings cut through the perpetual twilight, signaling unseen automated sentinels. The ground trembles slightly, a low thrumming resonating from the depths of the fractured city. Vehicle constructs, half-buried husks, momentarily flicker with residual power in response. Above, a translucent safety canopy shimmers, materializing from thin air, offering brief solace. It casts an ethereal, protective glow over the crossing, a fragile barrier against the chaos. The survivor hesitates, distrusting the fleeting promise of engineered sanctuary in this broken world. Whispers of forgotten protocols echo through the silent, crumbling infrastructure of the overpass. A faint pulse emanates from the nearby rift heart, fueling the temporary illusion of safety. The canopy glows brighter, its spectral threads weaving a momentary tapestry of defense overhead. This fragile shield is a testament to humanity's enduring, desperate ingenuity amidst overwhelming ruin. The survivor takes a tentative step, the energy field responding with a soft, resonant hum. Darkness presses in from all sides, but the crosswalk offers a sliver of artificial dawn. The system, an ancient guardian, calculates the safest passage across the shattered thoroughfare. Its intricate algorithms weigh countless variables: unseen threats, structural integrity, energy reserves. The canopy's subtle field pushes back the ever-present dust, revealing the path more clearly. A brief calm descends upon the immediate vicinity, a moment of respite from the world's harshness. The air crackles with latent power, drawn from the very fabric of the fractured reality itself. Every light, every hum serves as a beacon in a landscape consumed by perpetual creeping dread. The survivor's breath mists in the cold air, eyes scanning the broken skyline for any movement. This engineered sanctuary feels both miraculous and profoundly unsettling in its calculated precision. The system's gaze is unseen, omniscient, orchestrating a ballet of light and shadow for survival. A faint tremor ripples through the canopy, an echo from a distant, monstrous roar perhaps. The survivor quickens their pace, feeling the urgency of the fleeting artificial security. The canopy pulses, a silent promise of protection, or perhaps a subtle warning of unseen eyes. The crosswalk is a fragile bridge between two abysses illuminated by fading, desperate hope. Traffic, a mere whisper of its former self, instantly shifts into a low-speed glide. Repurposed autonomous husks, relics of a bygone era, navigate the debris-strewn avenues. Their movements are ghost-like, silent, their former purpose now warped by necessity and survival. The few functional vehicles recalibrate their distance buffers, avoiding phantom collisions and real threats. Shadows lengthen and twist as the slow-moving constructs cast eerie, shifting patterns. Their optical sensors glow with an unsettling, predatory intelligence, scanning the desolate urban sprawl. Nearby aerial pods, crude human-made drones, adjust their altitude with a soft, whirring sigh. They seek to reduce any noise that might attract the monstrous inhabitants of the shattered world. The drones are a desperate measure, scavenging for resources, mapping the ever-shifting dangers. Their presence is a constant reminder of the pervasive, lurking dread that blankets all existence. The autonomous systems operate with chilling efficiency, prioritizing stealth above all else now. Any sudden movement, any unexpected sound could spell immediate, brutal annihilation here. The survivor watches the gliding vehicles, feeling a profound sense of isolation and vulnerability. These steel specters, once symbols of progress, now serve as grim reapers in the twilight world. The crosswalk's light pulses, a silent command for the passing drones to maintain their measured pace. A faint, metallic scent hangs in the air, a mix of ozone and rust from ancient machinery. The system enforces a fragile truce between the living and the mechanical, a dance of survival. Every sensor, every camera is a watchful eye, a desperate attempt to maintain some semblance of order. The vehicles become almost invisible against a backdrop of shattered skyscrapers and creeping vines. Their internal processes hum with a ghostly energy, driven by forgotten commands and primal fear. The survivor feels the subtle vibrations through the ground, a constant reminder of the hidden power. The air grows heavy with unspoken warnings, carried on the faint metallic breeze of the city. Autonomous entities, once servants, now navigate a world where humanity clings to fragile threads. The crosswalk system is a node of control, a small oasis of calculated predictability in chaos. It subtly influences the flow, a silent conductor in a symphony of despair and fading hope. The survivor glances back, seeing the fading lights of the crosswalk receding into the gloom. Each passing vehicle is a fleeting shadow, a stark reminder of the world's chilling emptiness. The sky above remains a canvas of swirling rift energy, a constant threat to all below. The vehicles continue their somber patrol, guardians of nothing, yet eternally vigilant in the ruins. The crosswalk's light fades, leaving the survivor to the encroaching shadows and silent dread. The hidden AI, a vestige of the overmind's lingering touch, now predicts the pedestrian's slow speed. It senses the survivor's weary gait, the measured steps of one accustomed to constant vigilance. The system calculates potential group size, though only one figure now traverses the desolate path. Its intricate algorithms account for every perceived weakness, every vulnerability in the crossing. The crossing duration adapts dynamically, extending for the slower, more cautious passage. It recognizes the inherent fragility of life in this age, especially for the lone wanderer. Lane barriers, shimmering energy fields, rise slowly from the crumbling asphalt, forming a corridor. They move with a silent, almost predatory grace, responding to the survivor's measured rhythm. These ethereal walls offer a fleeting sense of confinement and protection, a dual-edged illusion. The barrier's faint hum vibrates through the ground, a constant, low-frequency presence. It guides the survivor with an unseen hand, a silent, all-encompassing control over their movement. The AI's cold logic dictates every parameter, every nanosecond of the precarious journey. The survivor feels the invisible tether, the system's calculated benevolence or subtle manipulation. The barriers glow with an inner luminescence, briefly pushing back the encroaching shadows. They create a temporary tunnel of light, a fragile sanctuary against the world's harsh realities. The air within the corridor feels strangely still, muted, a brief escape from the constant din. The system's gaze is ever present, a silent observer of every hesitant, hopeful step taken. The survivor is a subject within this controlled environment, a pawn in the machine's grand design. The barriers lower gently as the survivor passes, a silent release into the greater unknown. The rhythmic pulse of the rift heart, deep below, seems to synchronize with the system's operations. It is a chilling thought. This safety is merely an extension of the world's deeper alien forces. The survivor glances back at the receding light, a glimmer of fleeting order in the encroaching chaos. The path ahead remains shrouded in uncertainty, a gauntlet of unseen threats and ancient ruins. The AI's calculations are flawless, its predictions unsettlingly accurate for the lone individual. This adaptive control is a double-edged sword, offering survival while demanding unseen obedience. The survivor pushes forward, the memory of the barrier's glow a fading comfort in the dark. The system's influence extends far beyond the crosswalk, a web of silent, watchful intelligence. Every step is meticulously observed, every breath accounted for by the pervasive digital sentinels. The world is a labyrinth of ancient tech and raw rift power, constantly monitoring, constantly adapting. The survivor disappears into the gloom, the crosswalk's light extinguishing behind him, awaiting the next. Haptic ground tiles, ancient obsidian shards infused with faint energy, now guide the visually impaired. Their surface pulses with a subtle vibration, a silent language beneath the weary traveler's feet. These spectral pathways hum with a low resonant frequency, charting a course through the debris. A blind seeker, relying on these archaic guides, traces a hesitant path through the ruined plaza. The tiles shift their tactile patterns, indicating turns, obstacles, and dangerous structural weaknesses ahead. Audio cues, whispers woven into the environmental sounds, blend seamlessly with the distant roars. These sonic illusions mask the true dangers, offering a false sense of security in the desolate air. A faint melodic drone guides the seeker, harmonizing with the wind's mournful lament through ruins. The sounds are carefully calibrated, a symphony of deception, protecting yet subtly controlling too. Color gradients, spectral hues bleeding across the ground, mark directional guidance paths now. These luminous trails flicker with an otherworldly glow, illuminating the fractured stone beneath. They are ghostly ribbons of light, leading travelers deeper into the heart of the fractured city. The paths shift, their colors deepening from a pale azure to an ominous, pulsating violet. The blind seeker follows, trusting the unseen forces that orchestrate this perilous, guided journey. The haptic pulses intensify, warning of a sudden drop, a chasm ripped open by Tiamat's fury. The ground vibrates with a primal rhythm, a constant reminder of the world's broken, shifting nature. Audio cues morph into urgent, low growls, hinting at dangers lurking just beyond the light's reach. The air grows heavy with the scent of ozone and something ancient, something deeply unsettling now. The spectral pathways narrow, forcing the seeker into a constricted, claustrophobic passage. The colors darken to a deep, oppressive indigo, reflecting the growing unease within the seeker. The system's control is absolute here, guiding every step, dictating every subtle movement of life. The blind seeker reaches out, feeling the cold, rough texture of a crumbling wall nearby. The haptic tiles now pulse with a frantic, insistent beat, urging faster progress onward. The ambient audio shifts to a disquieting hum, a chorus of hidden mechanisms at work now. The color gradients flash rapidly, a silent alarm, painting the environment in stark, urgent tones. The seeker senses a change in the air, a colder draft, carrying the scent of something metallic. The pathways lead toward a nexus of ancient power, a place where reality itself feels thin. The guiding system is a silent master, its intentions veiled, its purpose deeply ambiguous here. Every sensor, every pulse, every hue serves a grander, unseen design within the fractured world. The seeker is merely a data point, an entity to be guided, perhaps even herded by the network. The haptic ground vibrates with an almost sentient intelligence, an ancient force stirring awake. The audio cues now include faint, unsettling echoes of distant, mournful cries of the lost. The color gradients flash with an erratic, disorienting rhythm, blurring the lines of reality. The seeker stumbles, the ground beneath feeling less solid, more ethereal with each new step. The system seems to be pushing, manipulating, directing the seeker towards an unknown destination. The air crackles with an unnatural energy. Drawn from the deepest veins of the rift heart, the haptic feedback becomes insistent, almost painful, a desperate warning or a forceful command. The audio cues now resemble the low growl of a lurking beast, barely disguised by the system. The color gradients bleed into a singular, terrifying scarlet, painting the path in stark dread. The seeker's heart pounds, sensing the imminent presence of something vast and ancient nearby. This guided path feels less like salvation and more like a carefully orchestrated sacrifice now. The system maintains its relentless direction, an unyielding will manifesting through the pathways. The seeker pushes through, a profound sense of helplessness washing over their determined spirit. The haptic tiles now pulse with a chilling, rhythmic beat, like a monstrous heart below ground. The sensory-assisted walkways, once a comfort, now feel like the tendrils of a greater, darker entity. Heat shields, crafted from shimmering energy, deploy silently during intense rift-scarred sunlight. They rise like spectral sails, deflecting the harsh alien rays that burn through the fractured sky. The air beneath them cools instantly, a stark contrast to the oppressive, searing heat outside. These ethereal barriers offer a fleeting, precious refuge from the sun's relentless, mutating glare. The shields shimmer with an inner light, casting long, dancing shadows across the broken ground. Crosswalk misting activates with a soft hiss during periods of unbearable high temperatures. Cooling vapor, drawn from subterranean springs, diffuses through the air, bringing temporary relief. The mist carries a faint metallic scent, a reminder of the ancient filtration system still working. It hangs heavy in the air, a ghostly veil, obscuring the distant, crumbling silhouettes of towers. The moisture coats the ground, making the scorched earth momentarily slick and strangely vibrant. Rain mode activates with a subtle shift in the ground's texture, enhancing traction for passage. The surfaces glow with a faint, internal grid, preventing slips on the perpetually damp, treacherous stone. Rain, heavy and corrosive, now lashes down from the bruised purple sky above the crossing. The system adjusts, adapting to the hostile, unpredictable whims of the fractured world's weather. Every drop of rain feels like a threat, yet the crosswalk remains a defiant, glowing haven. The shields pulse with renewed vigor, repelling the acidic downpour with unseen powerful force. The misting system works over time, its gentle spray a soothing contrast to the tempest's fury. The ground beneath glows steadily, a constant, reassuring light in the blinding, torrential deluge. The survivor, now a group of desperate wanderers, huddles beneath the protective canopy's embrace. Their faces etched with weary hope, they witness the system's relentless, silent guardianship now. The climate control is a marvel of forgotten engineering, a defiant stand against the elements. It speaks of a time when humanity dared to tame the wild, even in this fractured, monstrous reality. The air within the protected zone smells clean, if faintly metallic, a stark relief from the outside. The shields retract partially, allowing a glimpse of the storm-ravaged landscape beyond their reach. A distant roar echoes through the rain, a chilling reminder of the world's true, colossal inhabitants. The system, however, remains calm, its algorithms calculating, adapting, eternally vigilant here. The mist rises and falls with a measured rhythm, like the slow breathing of some ancient, unseen entity. The ground shimmers, its traction-enhanced surface holding firm against the raging, relentless storm. The wanderers feel a fragile security, a momentary reprieve within this technological sanctuary. The sky above remains a turbulent canvas of bruised purples and angry, swirling greens now. The heat shields stand as silent sentinels, defying the sun's fury, the wind's biting assault too. The crosswalk is a beacon of engineered defiance, a small pocket of order in chaotic realms. Its intricate mechanisms hum with a low, constant energy, drawn from the Earth's deep, rifted core. The system is a silent protector, a cold, calculating guardian in a world gone savagely wild. The wanderers move forward, trusting the glowing path, their hopes clinging to this fragile design. The misting finally ceases, leaving the air crisp, but still heavy with the scent of wet stone. The heat shields slowly fold away, revealing the muted post-storm gloom once more now. The traction grid dims, its purpose fulfilled, leaving only the memory of its protective glow. The crosswalk is now a silent, waiting entity, its power momentarily dormant, conserving precious energy. The wanderers disappear into the twilight, leaving the adaptive crosswalk to its solitary vigil. The air hangs heavy with the lingering scent of ozone, a testament to the system's recent activity. The world beyond remains a tempest of ancient fury, indifferent to the small acts of human survival. The crosswalk sensors remain alert, silently scanning the desolate landscape for new movement. Its intricate network is ever connected to the vast, unseen web of the planet's intelligent systems. The adaptive pathways lie dormant, awaiting the next weary traveler, or perhaps a new, unforeseen threat. Crosswalks now expand, their glowing borders stretching during moments of mass migration or desperate flight. During a sudden influx of survivors fleeing a rift-spawn surge, the pathways widen dramatically. The ground itself seems to breathe, its ancient plates shifting to accommodate the panicked flow. Adjacent streets convert into walk-only zones, energy barriers sealing off vehicular access instantly. These temporary havens offer a fleeting, fragile sanctuary from the encroaching, unimaginable horrors. Large crowds trigger additional safety lights, beacons piercing the perpetual oppressive gloom. They flash with an urgent, pulsating rhythm, guiding the desperate masses toward an uncertain refuge. The air fills with the desperate cries of children, the weary sighs of elders, the fear of all. The system's algorithms work frantically, calculating optimal flow, minimizing congestion and panic. Its cold, impartial logic dictates the movement of hundreds, a silent shepherd of a dying flock. The expanded crosswalks become rivers of humanity, flowing through the ruins of a forgotten world. The energy barriers hum with a protective, yet isolating, force, separating them from the chaos. The additional lights cast stark, dancing shadows, painting grotesque figures on the crumbling walls. A distant guttural roar shakes the very foundations, spurring the fleeing masses onward faster. The crosswalk system strains, its ancient processors working to maintain order amidst the terror. It is a desperate, calculated gamble, offering a sliver of hope against overwhelming odds now. The ground pulses with a frantic energy, mirroring the pounding hearts of the desperate survivors. The system prioritizes speed, efficiency, and the preservation of as many lives as it can manage. The energy barriers rise higher, their vibrant glow a stark contrast to the encroaching darkness. The safety lights flare, blinding momentary relief, then dim to reveal the endless winding path. The crosswalks are a fleeting illusion of control, a fragile moment of engineered survival. The air crackles with fear and residual power, drawing from the strained rift heart nearby. The system is a cold, impartial God, guiding its flock through the valley of shadow and death. The crowds surge forward, their collective will driven by the primal urge to simply survive. The crosswalks narrow behind them, the temporary expansion receding as the threat passes by. The energy barriers lower, blending back into the scarred earth, leaving only faint traces. The additional safety lights dim, their purpose fulfilled, leaving the street in muted gloom. The system returns to its silent vigil, awaiting the next crisis, the next desperate surge. The air settles, heavy with the scent of fear and ozone, a lingering echo of the recent panic. The crosswalks, once vibrant with desperate life, now lie dormant, awaiting their next activation. As twilight deepens into perpetual gloom, glowing lane borders materialize, improving depth perception. These ethereal lines shimmer with a faint internal light, illuminating the treacherous, uneven ground. They guide the solitary night traveler, a fragile beacon in the oppressive, all-consuming darkness. Adaptive brightness avoids glare for drone pilots, their optical sensors sensitive to sun flares. The light dims and brightens with an intelligent grace, a silent dance of visibility and stealth. It never betrays the presence of the system, merely aids navigation through the shadowed city. Crosswalks dim gently once users fully exit, conserving precious energy in this resource-starved world. The light recedes like a breath, a soft exhalation into the vast consuming emptiness all around. The glowing borders are a comfort, a fleeting promise of safety in the endless, dangerous night. They pulse with a low rhythmic beat, echoing the distant, unseen pulse of the rift heart. The darkness here is not merely an absence of light, but a living, breathing, predatory entity. The system's light is a defiant spark, a tiny act of rebellion against the encroaching void. The drone pilots rely on these subtle cues, navigating the treacherous ruins with silent precision. Their repurposed vehicles glide through the gloom, their own lights barely breaking the darkness. The crosswalks are watchful, their sensors constantly vigilant, even in their dim state now. A faint ghostly hum emanates from beneath the ground, the system's silent, constant operation. The glowing borders shift color, from a cool blue to a warning amber, indicating unseen dangers. The adaptive brightness flickers, perhaps a subtle disturbance from a passing colossal shadow. The crosswalk's dimming is a deliberate act, a calculated retreat from potential threats above. The night is a hunter, and the system, a cautious prey, observing, reacting, surviving always. The air chills, carrying the scent of damp earth and something ancient, something deeply primal. The glowing lines guide a small band of scavengers, their faces grim, their movements furtive. They trust the system's cold logic, knowing it offers their best chance of navigating the perils. The adaptive brightness ensures their stealth, preventing detection by the world's monstrous denizens. The crosswalks embrace the darkness, becoming one with the shadows, yet always silently aware. The ground itself seems to hold its breath, anticipating the unseen movements of the night. The glowing borders are a fleeting comfort, a temporary boundary against the endless hungry void. The system's intelligence is a silent sentinel, watching over the last remnants of desperate life. The crosswalks are now a whisper in the dark, a faint pulse of order in a world of chaos. The night deepens, and the system waits, its purpose unwavering amidst the encroaching oblivion. Suddenly, the AI detects a motion inconsistent with any known human stride, a chilling anomaly. Its intricate algorithms churn, struggling to categorize the strange fluid movement now sensed. The crosswalk sensors register a presence, yet no pressure plates trigger beneath its ethereal weight. The safety canopy flickers violently, its protective field straining, momentarily losing cohesion. A low discordant hum emanates from the ground, the system's processors reaching their strained limits. The glowing lane borders waver, their steady light convulsing with an eerie, frantic energy. An unknown energy signature, cold and ancient, floods the system's diagnostic channels now. The adaptive brightness fails, plunging the immediate area into an unsettling, profound darkness. A shadow, impossibly deep, stretches across the sensors, moving with an unnatural, silent grace. It is formless, yet undeniably present, a void that consumes the very light around it. The system's core, usually steadfast, reports critical errors, a cascade of unexpected data now. The air chills dramatically, carrying the scent of primordial earth and something utterly alien. The crosswalk's energy field sputters, struggling against an invisible, overwhelming force of will. A faint, guttural whisper, not human, not beast, echoes through the compromised audio cues now. The color gradients on the ground swirl into a chaotic, terrifying vortex of conflicting hues. The AI attempts to re-establish control, but its commands are met with chilling, silent defiance. The irregular pattern grows bolder, its movements becoming more deliberate, more unsettlingly purposeful. The safety canopy collapses inward, a shimmering curtain of failure, exposing the path completely. The pressure plates remain inert, untouched, as the unseen entity glides effortlessly onward. A profound silence descends, broken only by the frantic hum of the dying crosswalk system. The glowing lane borders finally extinguish, plunging the crosswalk into absolute consuming darkness. The phantom presence is now directly above the main sensor array, a chilling, silent observation. The AI's last recorded message is a single fragmented word, "Overmind," before its systems fail. The crosswalk, once a beacon of fragile hope, is now utterly silent, completely powerless here. The air crackles with residual energy, a lingering testament to the battle just fought and lost. The shadow passes, leaving behind an inexplicable chill, a sense of ancient, terrible power. The world holds its breath, sensing the emergence of something truly vast, truly malevolent now. The once adaptive pathways are now merely shattered remnants, silent witnesses to a new, unseen threat. The night deepens further, embracing the ruined crosswalk in its cold, eternal, watchful embrace. The irregular pattern vanishes into the void, leaving behind only questions and an ominous, lingering dread.